beautiful life. On the 10th of May 2023, the Round Britain Cruise RBC 60 came to Plymouth, and we were there to record it.
Jonathan Brice. I am the local coordinator for Plymouth for the Old Gaffers Association Round Britain Cruise on their 60th anniversary jaunt around the UK.
Now, you started off from where?
Started in Ramsgate on 27 April, making the way west. There was a planned stop in Cowes on the Isle of Wight, and then because the weather went bad, a lot of the boats put into Weymouth, which is why things are taking a little bit longer to organise here in Plymouth, and in fact the departure will now be delayed at least one day.
So we're talking about thunderstorm and torment, tempest.
I'm not so sure about the biblical explanation there, or the description, but we were certainly apparently talking about 60 mile an hour winds and possibly even gusting up to 70 miles an hour, and caught one or two people by surprise a little bit, and others ran away from it. So, but we haven't had any casualties so far as we're aware.
Going around Land's End can be tricky.
Well, they've got to encounter that in the next few days, but they'll be careful, and they've got one or two ports they can go into just in case.
So will anybody be stopping off around the Cornish coast?
I have heard that some people hope to put into Foy, and Falmouth is always a favourite as well, and I think that at least one of the boats might be stopping over in Newlyn, but they'll play it by the weather.
So if anyone wants to see what a gaffer looks like, can you explain?
Well, a gaffer, the sail has a fairly flat top to it. It's an old historic rig that derived from the working boats of 150, 200 years ago, and has evolved down through the decades. And the Old Gaffers Association, set up 60 years ago, was to celebrate and help preserve the boats that were of that heritage. And of course, these days, some of the boats, whilst they're very well preserved, 100 and 150 years old, they're made out of timber, of course. More modern materials have taken over, but the boats still pay homage to the gaff rig and keep the interest in that particular rig alive. And you'll see them because, particularly down in the Falmouth area, you have the Falmouth working boats, the oyster dredgers, and they're all gaff rigged, and you'll see the bowsprit out ahead of the front of the boat carrying extra sail, and they really do make a wonderful sight, a great visual.
Super.
That do?
Yeah.
That's great. What's your name, by the way? Sorry.
Christine Butler.
Thank you very much.
You rang, sir, that kind of thing.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers.
Okay, we're going to the pontoon now.
Okay, Jonathan, how long have you been running the Plymouth Classics?
Well, my involvement of the Plymouth Classics goes back to 2002, maybe 2001 even.
And how did you get involved with it?
We had a small wooden yacht, used to bring to the Classics, and I also had a number of friends who had boats, and we always used to come up to Plymouth from Cornwall and have a great time here in Plymouth. It's a wonderful spot.
It's nice.
And the Barbican, we were in Turnchapel to begin with, and then we came over to the Barbican, where Sutton Harbour kindly hosted us for about 11 years, and now we bring a slightly smaller fleet here as well. And Sutton Harbour is the ideal location for heritage boats, with the wonderful old stone buildings surrounding.
It's nice when you've got the music as well.
Oh yes, music has always been quite a part of it. We've had a number of local bands play, and a lot of local musicians on the pontoons and on the boats.
Yes.
And it's been a wonderful thing over the years, because music and old boats do go together very well.
Especially on balmy, warm afternoons.
Oh yes.
With the beer flowing.
Yes. Sutton Harbour very kindly hosted a a number of pontoon parties, and we've had various local musicians play.
So where are we heading now, Jonathan?
Well, we're going over to the pontoons accessed via Guy's Quay,
Right.
and we'll have a look at some of the boats that have turned up on this Round Britain cruise to celebrate the old Gaffers Association's 60th birthday.
And how many boats have we got coming in, do you think?
Today I think we're going to have about 12.
Yes.
Tomorrow there's an additional 8 boats arriving. Originally 32 boats were booked in, but there have been a few casualties, a few incidents, and life has intervened for some.
Well, we had some interesting thunderstorms yesterday, and I was next to getting caught in them.
Yes. Well, 60-mile-an-hour winds off Cornwall,
Yeah.
and that was quite something.
Special thanks to BBC Radio Cornwall, Plymouth Gin, Sutton Harbour Holdings, Jonathan Brice, the Plymouth organiser, and everyone involved in the Round Britain Cruise RBC 60 2023. 30 years of culture and the arts as a free service on Love Summertime TV. Don't forget to friend and share my videos, subscribe to my channel and support me through PayPal at tcsphoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video. It's a lifestyle.